right, y'all, we back. Shrewd News and Reviews, man. We got a big one for y'all today. What we got?
Yeah. China Mac versus Charleston White. Again, it heats up, and
Again, man.
the
Again.
comments, damn.
Damn, man. Why you
Charleston
do
White and his people act like Asians hung they people. Damn, we gotta
Why he
talk
go
about
there?
it.
Right. Why he go there, dog?
That
Damn.
that's probably like the inflection point. But let's
Yeah,
zoom out a
we
little
gonna
bit.
deep dive. We
Let's
gonna
zoom
deep
out
dive.
about out a little bit. This all stemmed from the whole math Hoffa thing. China Mac, even though he
Yeah.
wasn't really buddy with Math Hoffa, he spoke up and said he didn't think what Charleston White was saying about Math Hoffa's kids was cool. And then it turned into a Charleston White versus China Mac thing. But correct me if I'm wrong, Bob. It looked like when Charleston White was going at China Mac, it kind of turned into an Asian versus black thing a little bit. I mean, and it started getting
Yeah.
heated, and then as a result of that, Charleston White's comedy show with Academics ended up getting canceled, and I think that's what inspired this response, or that's what at least this is stemming from. So, if you have any highlights, we could go into it, where you want
Yeah.
to.
First I wanna say
Okay,
yes, the show did get canceled, but then
okay,
Charleston White came back. It was a guy, I can't remember his name, who contacted Charleston White that said that he will be uh
mhm,
uh booking him to do a comedy show at
mm,
his venue in New York. It was in
okay,
Brooklyn. So
okay,
we have to mention that it is
yeah,
Charleston White did say that he is going to Brooklyn.
that's
And
news
as
to me.
Brooklyn boys were saying that, nobody better not pull up and even touch Charleston. So we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll get into that. I
I,
mean,
I agree with that. I don't think anybody should pull up and harm Charleston White in any way.
yeah,
So
yeah. So now we gonna go into these clips, man. We're not gonna show the whole video in its entirety, but it is some points that I
yeah,
wanted to
where's the source?
definitely
Where we getting
highlight.
this from?
The
So
source
we
is
can
from
shout them out.
Gleek Kuz
Okay.
Vizion. Okay, you gotta
Hope we're pronouncing that correctly,
hope we
but
pronouncing it correct. He new in the game like us, so he trying to get his name out there, man.
yeah.
So yeah, so if y'all can watch this in its entirety, we just gonna give you some clips. Now, the first one I'm gonna give you is at 1 minute and 24 seconds. I'm gonna give y'all my opinion on what he said, but I'm gonna let y'all hear it for yourself.
People, right? You like you not mad at the people that fucking you act like Asian people was the ones that like hung y'all. Like, what the fuck? Like, the Asian people burn, like,
Oh,
run y'all out of y'all houses, burn your
yeah,
houses,
that hurt.
like hang your children, like stop y'all from going
Oh,
to schools, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
did
chill.
Asian people do all that, bro? Did we like round y'all up and like take you from one
Yo,
place to
chill.
another place? Did we do all
Bro,
that?
why you going into
No,
all
we ain't do that.
okay,
like
okay.
that's why sometimes it's good. I mean, you can't always have a black person in the room, but somebody should have been there to tell him like chill. Like we get what you're saying, but now it's seeming like this
Damn.
coming from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like what?
Yeah, listen. See,
Mhm.
and I felt for him. See, with Charleston White, I felt bad when Charleston White was saying all this about his people, and I'm like, yo, you know what? He shouldn't be going in on talking bad about his people. But now that it's like having wounds, and you like getting a knife, and you like you poking in the wound. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I think somebody should have stopped him, but I think he should have never went here with it. He should have just went. Now you making it a black thing. At first, he said it correct. He said, "Hey, this is not a
Yeah.
black versus Asian thing." He said, "This is a Charleston White versus China Mac thing," and now
Yeah.
he brought it there.
Yeah,
From
he
that
should
time.
have never. I guess maybe to steel man his argument. What he's saying is he's seeing a spike in maybe hate rhetoric towards Asians. It seems like he's responding to the Charleston White trolls, and he's saying that all of this hate that he's seeing towards Asians is misplaced. And if anybody we should be mad at as black people, we should be probably mad at white people, I guess what he's saying. And I don't think that's even the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, it was white people that the people that did a lot of bad things were white, but it's deeper than white people now. It's about white supremacy as a system, as a structure, and we got to be more nuanced than to say it's white people or it's Asian people, you know, because it's bigger structures.
It's bigger than the people.
Yeah, it's bigger than
the people.
just individuals, because you could have people, you could have a person from any race working for the system, you know.
Right.
They can have somebody who black.
Right. It don't matter what color they is right now.
Yeah, so
you're right.
So if you go by that, you're gonna be led astray a lot. But you want to go on to the next one?
Yeah. Now we're gonna go into the 5 minute. I had to cut that one a little short, man. That was a little getting a little too.
Yeah, that was a little crazy.
I wish I could have been there to stop him, but you know what? So now I'm gonna get to the 5 minute and 20-minute mark, where he goes on another rant, and I'll tell y'all our points on that.
Everybody else, you name me one race that ain't racist and they ain't got racist people, and I'll shut the fuck up right now. Yeah, I'll shut the fuck up right now. You show me one race of people that is not racist towards another group of people, and I'll sew my mouth closed. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Y'all people so quick to do this Asian shit right now, but really look at it. What the Asian people do? Is Asian people like what did we do, bro? What the Asian people do? Show me.
Okay, so now my point on this is, and I'm gonna go back to what China Max said. He said that, hey, do you support this racism? This rhetoric. This is what he said when his first speech, when he was talking about Charleston White. Okay. So now you're saying that you admitting that you know that there is some Chinese racism, but the point is, are you racist? Okay. You know, you should definitely condemn, just like you spoke about what Charleston White said. You should have just condemned the racism from what your situation is, so you don't make it, because you're coming off to me as racist, bro.
I don't get that from him at all. I think he is condemning racism from his own group and other groups. It's just like I told you on many occasions. I could take a lot of stuff. I'm not easily offended. Where I draw the line was the constant references to raping children and the racist rhetoric. That's what China Mac has a problem with. I didn't see it as him coming at black people as a whole. I think he's really responding to the Charleston White trolls, or I won't even say trolls, the Charleston White supporters. A lot of times in those comments, he's on live, they could get a little bit, racial with it, and he's making some all right points, but it's not landing quite as gently as he might have wanted it. But I think he made a good point. All races have races, and he's calling his own out like he's calling out others. I don't think that was too bad of a point.
Okay. Now we're gonna get into the 7-minute mark. That's the last one that I'm gonna go into, and y'all can watch this. If y'all got any points, I don't want to harp on it too much, but check this out.
Show it to me. Yeah, show it to me. Let me see it. Let me see it. Huh? Let me see it. You ever ask yourself why? You ever do you even like motherfuckers? Yo, sometimes we get used and we don't even know we getting used. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes you a pawn and you don't even know you being a pawn. You being a pawn for other people that hate your guts more than the people that you mad at, and you don't even know it.
Now, let me get there. Now, listen. I was agreeing with him 80% on what he said until he tried to redirect it to the other people. And that could be true, but I do agree. I do think sometimes we get used as pawns. They'll use black white, whatever color, it don't matter, as long as the job gets done. Okay. This
Mm-hmm.
is fact. Okay. This could be true. I mean, this could be true. I don't know if it's true in this situation, but there is some truth to what he's saying. But for him to just try to, it seems like he's trying to put the blame on white people. Okay. That's what it seems like. He's trying to say, hey, man, listen, Asians didn't do this to you. You shouldn't have no problem with them. And you should be
Um,
definitely at the top of the food chain.
Honestly, when it comes to this is how I took it. When it comes to hateful rhetoric towards Chinese people, I really saw a lot of that coming from Trump. And I saw that's when around the Asian hate bill time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's coming. You know, Trump with the whole China, the Chinese
But
virus.
not
Like,
even Trump. You can't even put it on
hold on.
Trump.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
I let you guys get
Go
yours
ahead.
on.
Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying how I see it. How what resonated with me when he said sometimes you get in control. I saw a lot of that hateful rhetoric come out around that time, and Charleston White is a hateful rhetoric type of guy. He says stuff about a lot of different races. He,
Hmm.
you know, he's a Trump supporter. We got Republicans that was saying that they want to bring hanging back, public hangings, you know, and it's just a time for all of that. So when he says that people could just be using that, I think people do use the Asian hate thing to get people riled up. For some reason, that far right community, that uh radical fringe part of the Republican Party, those supporters, they like that kind of talk for some reason.
Yeah. Now, listen.
Mhm.
I agree that it is a battle going on between China and America, but
Mhm.
this happened way before this rhetoric with Trump. You know, this been going on for a long time. Okay, we can't blame
Well,
this to
are you speaking when you say you mean like tensions between
yeah
the communities
tensions
here? You're not really
between.
taking
I'm
talking like
talking
on an
about
international
China.
level, like just
Yeah,
Chinese people here and
no,
black
no, no, no,
people.
no. I'm
Okay,
talking about the tension between China and America. Okay,
okay,
it's two different systems that they run in, and they don't run
okay,
the same. They don't
okay.
believe in the same
Fair, fair,
ways to
fair,
operate.
fair.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to put it on a
Hmm.
particular person or a group. I want to say that hey, it's been pressure, it's been wars, it's been stuff that's been way before any of the people that you name and the people that we have. That is blood there. It's tension there. It's pressure there that's been you know
Yeah,
been
and there's people
previously
who could reignite things like
reignited.
that,
Yeah, yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah. Right.
That's
But
why
I
I
just
brought
don't
them
want to
up.
put it on a person. You know what
No,
I mean?
I'm giving them credit where it's due.
Yeah.
They reigniting it. They bringing the conversation up more. They're making people feel more emboldened to have hateful rhetoric. When you got somebody as big as a Trump or a Charleston White, somebody with influence, that
Hmm.
makes people who wasn't even thinking about Asian people say, you know what? Yeah, I don't like Asian people. The Asian person at the Chinese store did give me a little attitude. Matter of fact, if one of them say something wrong to me or look at me wrong, I might do something to them. There are people out there like that don't take it as a joke. They feel like, yeah, it emboldens them, gets them riled
Mm.
up.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever
Mhm.
seen any hate towards Chinese in the community that you have you ever seen any
Me personally, have
direct?
I
Yeah,
seen? No, no. I actually
me
see,
neither.
like, when I think about Chinese people in my community, the first person that comes to mind is Chinaman.
Yeah,
Higher
Chinaman. That's what
black
I'm
guy,
saying.
been in the community, cute photos and everything. James used to work with him,
Yeah.
everything like
So
that. So that's the first thing I think about. But honestly, I try not to base my perception solely on anecdotal experiences. I'm,
right, because it
I'm
may not
looking
be
at
the
statistics and stuff around the country, and he's in New York. This is a place where that Asian hate bill got formed because there was violence taking place towards Asian people. They got data
right.
behind that. I'm not going to deny it just because I ain't see it personally. But nah, me personally, I ain't never really seen too much of that.
Right. Me neither.
Yeah,
Me neither.
God, no.
Another question I got for you after this. I know you wanted to get into some topics on DJ Academics and China Mac some
Mm.
point. You did answer that. How do you feel about Chinese businesses and operations operating in the black community. Do you feel like that's a problem?
Not necessarily. I don't have a reason to think that solely Chinese people doing business in the black community is a problem. Absolutely not. You would want people to do business in the black community.
Yeah, well, Charleston White made a reference that it's been a lot of stale food and a lot of processed food that's sold to the black community.
Yeah.
Do you eat at any do you shop at any of the Chinese restaurants and eat there?
Sometimes I go to, I don't know if it's Chinese people that run it, but I go to Oriental markets. Every once in a while, I might go to like an Asian food place. They don't necessarily have to be Chinese. Um, but let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are Chinese people the only people selling unhealthy food in black neighborhoods?
No. There's
Okay.
probably everybody who's unhealthy food to black people, bro.
That's what you know what I'm saying?
Everybody,
Is
you
there
know what I
like
mean?
is there like an overwhelming amount of black people eating healthy food? Like Bobby, we've been vegetarian for a little while.
Yeah.
Is that like a common thing? Like when you go to the cookout, is there always vegetarian options and shit? So let's not act like if they came selling healthy food, we would even want that.
But you do acknowledge it is a problem of selling to low income community black people. It's like,
I mean,
I mean,
no, I don't necessarily.
You don't
see
think
that
it's
as
a problem?
I think it's a problem with us having low
Buying
income. You know what I'm saying? But somebody gonna sell food to us. I mean, if we don't got nobody selling food to us, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough. If anything, we need more people selling food to us so we have competition. Sometimes black people live in food deserts. The only place where you could get food in walking distance is like a corner store or some shit. So I'm more concerned about that. There are healthier options than maybe salty fried rice and shit like that. I get it, but I don't see that as a big issue. When I think about the problems plaguing the black community, Chinese businesses like nail shops and Chinese restaurants and shit, I don't have a problem with that. That doesn't rate high on my list personally.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But no, I mean, I ain't want to get too deep, man. I just know that since you brought it up, I wasn't even sure I was gonna bring it up. Akademiks had like a little conversation with with China Mac, and he was asking him some questions. China Mac was kind of grilling him about his affiliation with Charleston White, and people in the comments seemed to want to know if China Mac felt like he had some kind of privilege, like maybe Chinese people are protected more than black people, and he answered the questions head on. You got to give him a little respect for that, if nothing else. We'll play a little bit of that.
Okay, make sure you share it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I share it with you, man. Here we go. Bow.
What's going on? Question in the chat. So someone also says, well, I guess they're trying to say you have privilege in a sense because they're like, okay, Math Hoffa, who is African American, yes, his daughter was mentioned, but that doesn't get people to rally about what was said about him or what may be denigrating to him or his family or his people. However, as soon as he speaks about the Asian community, that seems to be the thing that triggers everything. And I guess you're using that in terms of privilege for you to say, well, if you can say the word nigga and nothing kind of happened to you, in the sense
he
of
said the word nigga.
Like you're not
you can't say that because I never used the word in this space. Nobody ever heard me use the word. So how can anybody say that when nothing would happen to me? I mean, nobody ever heard me say the word. So how can you discern if something would if it would have affected me or not?
Do you what's your reaction to when obviously people then take the extreme and they try to paint you out, or they
he was like, he said the word nigga.
They use the word like, yo, you're trying to capitalize on black culture, they say culture vulture. What do you think about that?
All right, so let me answer both questions that you. Let me talk about both of those questions you said. Right now, remember, man, like this situation started because of Math Hoffa. Because I saw that he said that Charleston White said something about Math Hoffa's daughter, so I reacted. You know what I mean? And that's me as a person, as a human being, as a person that
yeah, I think we know all that, but
Yeah.
that was a good point. I mean, a good question from the chat. Do you feel like maybe Chinese people are more protected than black people? Do you think that people maybe should have canceled Charleston White for the Math Hoffa thing rather than wait until there was an Asian hate thing to, try to get, like, when the politician reacted? Do you think there's anything there?
Yeah, I think it's anything. I think it's something. I think it's the Asian community have more structure than the black community. They can get things done a little bit more. But we know that it's nothing to they can bond together and get things done.
Wow. I think black people will bond together and get things done. I've seen people get stuff taken from them because
No. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going near to where I'm not.
Well, you said
saying
they're
that
more
they can't.
organized. I don't really.
Yeah, I feel like
necessarily.
they have more things in place, like their Asian hate bill. Like they have more things to
well,
like we got the civil rights movement. Yeah,
I
we
mean, we
have
got the
that.
civil rights. There's
Yeah,
affirmative
we got
action
some
stuff. I mean,
things.
we got shit. I mean,
We got
but
things. I'm not
and I'll
saying
say
it's
this.
nothing.
I'll
Yeah.
say this. I don't think people reacted in the same way they reacted for the Asian hate thing, because Charleston White's a black guy. If a black person saying something hateful towards black people, they're not going to look at it as a race thing. They're going to look at it as like a black people problem. Like, that's an in-house thing. It's like that. We saw that with Kanye. Kanye said shit about George Floyd. He said shit about Rosa Parks. It wasn't an issue. He said stuff about other races.
Yeah.
People snap. So we've explored that idea before.
We explored that.
So
but China Mac, this is where, from him telling this story, this is where I feel that this was not nobody being a pawn and being played. Because if you would have probably never said nothing on Math Hoffa, I don't think Charleston White would have got into the whole Asian thing. You get what I mean? If that would have, that makes me think that Charleston White, it's not like he just said this politically or was politically moving. You said something and you tried to, criticize something that where he said, which, he claim on here that when somebody attacks him, he goes in, he don't.
So that's an all right reason to attack a whole.
It ain't an all right reason, but
okay.
China Mac said that this guy is probably a pawn that's just, he could be being used to just say things about the Asian community. And I feel like
I don't think he was saying that about Charleston White. He said you could be used, or people could be used and not even knowing that they're being used. Right. I don't know if he was talking about Charleston White, but just to move on from that a little bit, I know a common point is that Charleston White is playing a character. He's just a comedian, and they kind of spoke to that. I want to get that off before we get out of here. Here we go.
Okay.
Find anything comedic about it? I didn't hear a comedic tone. I didn't hear anything that was funny about it. You know what I mean? So I understand how people trying to brush that off, like, whatever. And that's why I made that post, because it's like, okay, you trying to brush that off like he's being a troll. But let's understand that he was coming to perform in New York City, right? Like, New York City is the place where a lot of tension between a lot of these attacks were happening, and this is where that bill started, and this is where there's a lot of stuff going on in New York City with Asian people, and with that whole relationship. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, so that's how he feels about the whole. It's a character, it's a joke type of thing. He don't think it was funny. He don't think people take it as a joke. How you feel about that, Bob?
No, I don't think. I think that you said something, and Charleston White is one of them type of the guys that's just gonna go overboard on you, and he's gonna make he's gonna make a bigger point out of it to make, you know, than the average person would. You know, somebody may just say something to you and no, he gonna go and try to hurt, he gonna try to make it sting inside, right?
Yeah,
And
that
people,
is he goes overboard.
yeah,
We could
he
agree
goes
on
overboard, you know. So that's all
Yeah.
I think it was. I think he wanted to touch him without touching him, and he did that with saying what he said, and that's all, you know, I look at it as.
that. Fair enough, man. That's all I got.
Hey, look, man. Let me know what y'all think about this situation, man. Is China Mac out of bounds? Is Charleston White out of bounds? You know,
Am I going against my own people?
I definitely don't like the you know, the points that China Mac said, but you know, he did say something about being used that could have some truth to it. But other than that, I didn't like him bringing up all of the children being hung and, you know,
yeah, that
all
was
of
a misstep. But for the most part, I think I like China Mac's points better than Charleston White. So y'all chime in. You know,
Yeah.
I know Bob probably feel like Charleston White.
Yeah, I feel like I like Charles. I mean, not that I
cool.
like Charleston White, I just didn't like
okay. That's cool. You like
China
his
Mac's
points better on this, so we'll see what the people.
We'll see what the
we've
people
been
got
lucky
to
enough
say.
to have people chime in on the comments.
Oh yeah,
a
we
lot, so
appreciate
y'all
all
let
of
us know.
y'all,
Yeah.
man, for real, man. Bad, good, or indifferent, man.
Yeah.
It's all good in my book. Okay, so
right.
we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Yeah.